Hello, it is Sue from Snake River Stamping. Thank you for joining me today. This is a pre-recorded video. It should go online on YouTube and Facebook on Tuesday, January 27th at 5:30. This week, on Thursday, I'm having surgery on my foot. So I will be doing my last live on this Tuesday. Today's the 18th, actually, for me. It's the 18th of January. So I'm going to do my last live on Tuesday, the 21st, 18, 19, 20, yeah. And so I'm trying to pre-record some things to get them ahead a little bit, because I know I won't be able to do everything I have to do in that time frame. So I'm trying to get my little camera thing up here so it's not quite so much in the way. It's going to be in the way a little bit, I guess. Okay. Thank you for coming. And I have a few announcements and reminders because we're still in bonus days. Bonus days are where you're earning on top of your rewards. You are earning $5 coupons for every $50 that you spend this month through February 2nd. And so you have 6 more days from the 27th. You have 6 more days to earn your coupons, and they will immediately send you your coupon codes, and you want to save those in a safe place. Whether you write them down, I make a folder on my computer that says bonus day coupons, and I just stick all those emails with those codes in there, and that seems to work for me, and I can just copy and paste them next month, starting February 3rd, the very next day, through the 28th of February. You can start using those codes anytime you like during that time period. Now, you do need to use them by February 28th. Otherwise, they expire, okay? So be sure and do that. And when you put your coupon codes in, when you're copy and paste type of thing, put a space between each coupon code so they don't run together, because their computers can't read them when they're all run together. Okay, so let me turn the computer down. And so we've talked about bonus days. Also, product of the month. Again, this is another way you can stack all these things on top of each other, all these ways to earn things. If you spend $75, each month, if you spend $75, you make a $75 order. It has to be one order. You can order the product of the month for only $5. Okay. It does have to be one order. So this month, January, our product of the month is a fabulous Sayings stamp set. And this is the stamp set. I really like it. It has mixed fonts, which I love. I love mixed fonts. Lots of things, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 things in this set. I count them. It's right here, 11 right here. Anyway, there's 11 things, 11 stamps in this set, and maybe we'll use some of these today. We might use Sending Love because we're going to make a Valentine's card today. So this is our product of the month. But the December product of the month, which was the True Blue Florals, they still have it. And if you didn't get it last month, you can get it this month for another $75 order. So you can actually choose. You can choose. If you only make one $75 order, you will be able to choose, and between these two. Now today, January 18th, it's still available. I just checked. Whether it's still available on January 27th when I air this video, I don't know. but today it is still available, and you can choose either one. Now it's a lifetime thing. You only get this one time and this one time, okay? But you can get both. And if you didn't get this last month and you make two $75 orders before tax and shipping, before using Stampin' Rewards or any of that stuff, you can order that. So it's a choice. So it depends on what you would like to do. Okay. Paper pumpkin. January is on its way already. Okay. It looks like this. I know it's really hard to see. It's small, but it's Valentine's-y. Okay. And that one is already a done deal. But you have until February 10th if you would like to subscribe and get the February paper pumpkin. Now you can do a single subscription, just month by month. You can unsubscribe anytime. You can pause anytime, whatever you want. They're very, very flexible. So as you can see, for the February, it's Easter. It's called Celebrate Spring. So it's open right now through February 10th, and as long as you subscribe by February 10th, then in February, mid-February-ish, I haven't gotten mine yet. It's the 18th. It's probably, I know it's on its way because I got notified it was on its way. So I usually have them around the 15th or 16th, but I don't have it. It's probably going to get here tomorrow, of course. But anyway, that's the February kit with the little bunnies and eggs and things. And then the March kit, you have to subscribe by March 10th. And it's called Fluttering Garden, and it has all these beautiful hummingbirds. And look at these vibrant colors in here. They're just gorgeous, just gorgeous. So don't forget your last chance list. It's under your specials tab, and they're always putting new things in that last chance list. You got to check that, you know, once a week at least to see if there's something in there on sale that you would like to have. My January specials for this month, of course, every month with Stampin' Up! Now, we're doing Stampin' Rewards, and you get 10% Stampin' Rewards starting at the $20 threshold. So as soon as you make at least a minimum $20 order, you start earning your own Stampin' Rewards. It keeps track of it in your online account for you. It tells you exactly how many Stampin' dollars in Stampin' Rewards you have, and you just apply that whenever you feel like it. You know, I save mine up till, you know, I have a sizable amount to make a difference, to make a dent in my order. I placed an order last night, and I think I had $42 in Stampin' Rewards, and so that makes a nice little dent in my bottom line. So I like that. So I save mine up a little bit. With a $40 order, you're going to get a quarter package of DSP that is retired, and I still have a little bit of the Valentine's. So I'm using my Valentine's retired DSP first. That's what I'm making quarter packages of. And you get your Stampin' Rewards. For a $50 order, you get the quarter package of DSP that is retired, and you get 4 card kits, 2 of each design. And on January 6th, you can go back and watch the video to see how to make these card kits. But these, you'll receive all the stuff. Now remember, you have to be able to stamp yourself, and you have to have your own adhesive and all that business. But I cut all this stuff for you to make 4 cards, 2 of these and 2 of these. You can stamp happy birthday, you can stamp whatever you want. This one uses the Greenery Lane little foliage on it, and you get a piece of paper, piece of cardstock. Here we go. Piece of cardstock for the inside. I forgot to put one on there. You get a piece of cardstock, but again, you have to be able to stamp yourself. You have to have your own ink and your own stamps to do that. And the same with this one. That one goes like that. Flips open. So January 6th, if you want to watch how to put them together, that's the video that I demonstrated that for my card kits for January. And you get your Stampin' Rewards. $75 order, you get the quarter package of Retired DSP, you get the card kits, and you get my new January 2026 PDF. Plus your Stampin' Rewards. And my PDF features this card. Now, with a PDF, I email you the PDF, and it gives you all the directions to make this one. And this is with brushed florals and fragrant layers. Yeah, and brushed florals, I think. Brush with beauty and fragrant layers. That's what it uses. And you can actually sub any, if you don't have these, you can sub any bundles in that you happen to have. Okay, so that's my PDF offer. Remember, you get that by email. You don't get the supplies for a PDF. You just get the directions. Okay, all qualifying orders are before tax, before shipping, coupons, or redeemed Stampin' Rewards. Okay, so that brings us to today. Oh, I was gonna, last week, even though last week is really a couple days from now, this is what we made. We made this, oh, what's it called? Pop out reverse gatefold card, and this stands up like this, okay, and it pops out, and you can lay it flat. You close it up to go in the mail, and there's some ribbon on it and stuff. So if you haven't seen that from last week, be sure and check that one out, and I will demonstrate how to make this. It's a lot easier than it looks. It's really a cute card. So that's on the 20th. I'm sorry, I said the 21st earlier. It's on the 20th. I'm getting my days all mixed up, I swear, because I'm doing videos ahead of time and sometimes in real time, and yeah. Anyway, I bet you understand. So today, these are some of the things that you will need to make this card. Now this is not a fancy fold. This is just a simple 8.5 by 5.5 card base, and it features our new Endless Love and the die set and the stamp set. This is the stamp set. These are the dies that come with it. So it features this. Now, if you don't have this set, maybe you have another Valentine's set, and you can still use the elements I'm going to show you today and the layout to make this card, or more than one card. It's really pretty easy to make this card. Okay, so here the measurements and all of the supplies that I use today will be listed below me if you're watching me on YouTube, and they will be above me if you're watching me on Facebook. Okay, so we start out with a regular card base. This is an A2 United States card base in Flirty Flamingo. Now, the paper that I'm taking this from is called Made with Love, and it has Bubble Bath, Flirty Flamingo, Poppy Parade, Real Red, and Strawberry Slush in it. And these are all the papers, the designer series papers. So we have some really small hearts, we have some bigger hearts, we have some hearts in a line. We have ombre hearts that start with Flirty Flamingo, Strawberry Slush, and it goes down to Real Red. We have the X's and the O's with these little tiny hearts in there. And then we have these, I don't know if you can see these this is the pink, the light pink, and it's got little white flowers on it. So then on the other side, on the B side, we have more little hearts. We have some stripes. We have some little jumbled arrows and things. Oh, we have more hearts, because if we didn't have enough hearts before, now we have some more. We have these lines that are good for actually backgrounds. They're just lines and dots. And then we've got just random dots. Okay, so that is the paper. I usually cut my paper. They have 2 of each of these, so there's 12 pieces in here, 6 designs. So there's 2 of each, and I usually take 1 piece of each design and cut it into 3 pieces of 4 inches. This is 4 inches across, 12 inches down, because that's very useful for making cards and cutting out of it. So I usually do that with 1 piece and leave the other piece whole in case I need something bigger. But that's what I do with those. Okay, so back to our card. So I decided on this one, a little less traditional, you know, besides red and pink. Flirty Flamingo is what I used. 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Okay, so that's just your basic card base. Then you need 2 pieces of basic white, 5 by 3 3/4. One is for the inside, and one is for the outside. Okay, and the inside you will have an extra piece of DSP that's about 1/4 inch wide, and you can use it. Well, I'll show you how you can use this to decorate the inside of your card. Then on the outside, we're going to layer this onto our white. Okay, and you can see it's going to be similar to this one. I used the little arrows on this one and the X's and O's, so I wanted to use something a little bit different on this card. So I used the stripy pattern for the background, and that's 4 7/8 by 3 5/8. Then I stamped and cut out some various hearts to use. We'll decide how we're going to use these, and that's all stamped and cut out from Endless Love, from this packet right here, and they have all the dies. Then we have another piece of Flirty Flamingo that's going to go down here. It's 3 3/4 by 2, and then we have a piece that's going to go on top. Now you could do either side. You could do the hearts. I think I'm going to do these little hearts and arrows a little less, because I want to put other hearts on top of it. And this is 3 3/4 by 1 7/8, and that's going to go on top of that. And then you need just a scrap of white, and you can die cut, you know, whatever you have. They don't have any dies in the set for sentiment, so look in your other sets for a sentiment, and it doesn't need to be really large. And I also have tied a little bow out of some kind of organza white that I had, that I'm probably going to stick on there. And I'm going to tell you a trick with glue dots here in a minute. And I have another piece I'm probably going to stick on the middle there, I think, of the white. So that's just a basic tag. And I have my little hearts over here that I've cut and stamped already. So to get going on this, really easy. I'm gonna stick my little tags over here where they're kind of organized. But like I said, I will have those measurements for you in the description. Okay. Alrighty. So let's start with the inside. You know, I'm not going to begin with the beginning. We're going to begin with the end. So this is 3 3/4 by 5, and you can take. You're going to have this extra piece, and you can take and you put it on the side. You can stick it on the bottom, and we'll trim it off. I think that's probably what I'm going to do. Or do I want it at the top? Maybe I want it at the top because I want something else at the bottom. So I'm just going to run a little bead here, and I'm going to stick this towards the top. Oops, slipped. And you can see I left a little space up there with that. And I just flip it over, and I'm going to cut. Okay. Now I'm going to put happy on the front, all right? And I'm going to put Valentine's Day on the inside. Happy Valentine's Day on the inside. So I'm going to take that. I need, whenever you're using photopolymer, and which is what we're strictly going towards now, in the annual catalog there are still some rubber stamps that you might be getting, but all the new stuff going forward is photopolymer. So you want to have a Stampin' Pierce mat or something like that that will give you a cushion to do your stamping. So happy, I'm going to put this kind of, no, I'm going to put it right there because I made a little squidge. Happy Valentine's. Oh, that's terrible. Terrible. Turn it over. Two-sided paper. Okay, let me try it once on my practice. It always turns out great on practice. Okay. Happy Valentine's. Firm pressure. Ah, much better, much better. Okay. And then I have day on this one. Happy Valentine's Day. Okay. Not too bad. Okay, now I want another piece of that paper. Ooh, I think I have one. There we go. Look, I have another one. So I'm going to put that back at the top. Oh, and that just fits exactly. I must have had that one cut. Okay. So, again, I left a little space at the top before I put my designer series paper, Happy Valentine's Day. Now they also have this cute stamp. Put a little bit of wetness on there to make that stick. There we go. They have this cute little stamp with some big hearts, middle hearts, little hearts. And I happen to have a little smudge right there. So I'm going to stamp this right there to cover up my little smudge. Okay. So this will go in my inside. And I'm just going to use regular Stampin' Seal to put that on the inside because it will be nice and flat to write on. And we'll put the word happy on the outside. Now I have another smudge there. Gosh. Smudging, smudging, smudging. Put a little heart there. Okay. All right. Now for the outside. Well, while I have my stamp pad open, I am going to stamp happy. And I'm gonna put it a little bit to the right because I'm gonna put a bow over here or maybe some gems. I don't know. I'll think about that. Good. Happy turned out great. So that's done. So I think I'm done stamping because I've already stamped my hearts that I'm going to use tonight. So I'm going to look at this and I'm going to take these elements. So I have my piece of white that is 3 3/4 by 5, and I have my designer series paper. So this is going to be a very narrow border. Okay, let me take my paper off of here because I always cover that with paper so I can stamp. And you can probably see better while I'm doing this. So this is going to be a very narrow border. Okay, and since I'm going to use glue, I am going to put a silicone mat under here. And of course these little X's and O's are just as cute, and maybe you would decide to use that side. Of course, it's totally up to you what you want to do with this. There's so many pretty papers in this set. And I'm trying to get this centered, and I like glue because I can move it. Okay. So you can see that that has just a very narrow white border on it. Okay, which is going to look good against the Flirty Flamingo. All right. So now I'm going to take this piece, which is 3 3/4 by 2. Okay, and I have some designer series paper, which is also 3 3/4 by 1 7/8. Okay, so it's just a little bit narrower. And I'm going to put that on this piece that's going to go in the center. So it goes end to end. It just has a little bit of space at the top and the bottom with this design, this layout. and it is going to be glued on here. Now we will be popping some of those hearts up, and we're going to be popping happy up. So I'm just doing some gluing right now. And you don't want it in the middle. You want it a little bit down, like 2/3 of the way down. And glue that on, and then take your ribbon, no matter what kind of, maybe you have Flirty Flamingo. I thought I had Flirty Flamingo Stampin' Blends, and I was going to just dye this. And much to my surprise, I did not have those. So I ordered some in my order last night. So I'm going to put this on, and I'm just going to use good old-fashioned Scotch tape to tape this on the back before I attach this to the card base. So I'm going to put it kind of in the middle and hold that down, flip it over, and tape it, and pull this tight, or taut, not really tight, but taut, and tape that down. And so I have my ribbon on here, okay? All right, so that won't show once I put this on here, okay? It won't show. It'll be behind there, and this will be attached to it. So we're gonna work on this. And what I did is I took the stamps, and this stamp, it does this little double heart thing, and then in the dies, this is all the same die that cuts these hearts out, okay? The only one that's different is this one. This is a different die, and I really like that. I tried cutting that out of designer series paper, but it turned out too distracting. I thought it was too distracting. So I'm going to start with this one at the top, and I'm going to glue this one down, and I'm going to pop the other two up. So I'm just going to glue this down. It can actually go over the edge because it's going to be on that card, which is fine. And then you can see I was stamping on the back of this, and I didn't like it, so it was, I need this. I am a use my tweezers girl. Works way better for me. I know some people don't like them, but I just have gotten used to that. So it most of the time works for me. Actually, if you press in the middle, it'll pop those papers up and make it a little bit easier. So then I'm going to turn this a different way and put that up. Now this one I'm going to pop up partially too, because part of it is going to lay over here, but part of it is going to need to be popped up so it's at the same level as the other ones. And what I've found worked, I have sticky scissors. These are my sticky scissors, and these are my mini dimensionals. And I went in here and I cut several mini dimensionals in half. Is what I did. So I just want like super small, because you can tell that heart, this is going to be glued, but these other places that are just a little bit wider, They fit about a half a mini dimensional. So I can put those on there. Those little minis. Or half a mini. There's another one. And it's easier to cut them, not with those. It's easier to cut them when they're on the paper than doing it when they're not on the paper, because they will stick to your scissors just like that. And that's why I have sticky scissors. Okay, that one's probably toast, but we'll see. Can't even get it off my hands. Here's the other one on a fingernail. And I was going to put that, I was going to see if it would fit up here. I think I need it even smaller. There's a little piece of dimensional on my scissors, but I'll get it off later. Okay, I'm going to put some right there. So I'm going to take these little pieces off. And I'm going to put a tiny dot of glue over here. And let me see. Over here. Just a little bit. Just to stick it on there. Okay. So those dimensionals that I put on are going to hold it up, because this is already popped up, and that's going to hold those up. All right. So we've got my happy, and I'm going to put dimensionals on him, and I'm going to put him at an angle, because I thought that looked kind of jaunty to have him at an angle. And then I tied a little bow that I know might be kind of hard to see, but we're going to have him go this way. I'm going to cut off some of these legs on this bow because I don't want them really, really long. I want them pretty short. And I'm going to show you something. I've been watching Kelly do this for a long time, and I decided to try it, and I couldn't believe how well it works. She takes the multi-purpose liquid glue, and when she has a dimensional sheet, I think this would work also on wax paper, and she puts dots of glue. Mine are really too close together. I would leave a little more space next time between my dots of glue, and you let them dry overnight. And they don't dry completely. I mean, I've had these on here for 2 days, and they're still tacky. And they are wonderful glue dots, and they really stick on. So I'm going to just press my little bow on that glue dot. It comes right off, and I managed to get one on my fingernail. We'll put that back, maybe. Okay, so my glue dot's on my bow, and I just press that down, and it stays on there really, really well. It's like genius. So that's just kind of an alternative to using the glue dots. These are like homemade glue dots. Can you see them? Put them farther apart so you can get in there. And let them dry overnight before you use them the first time. And then I don't know how long they last, but like I said, I've had these for 2 days and they're still perfect. They're just a little bit tacky. They come right up off of this this waxy sheet, and that's why I think wax paper would work too if you wanted to do that. I would like tape some wax paper to a piece of cardstock so it was stiffer, because this is stiffer, and then I would do my glue dots like that. But anyway, Kelly Atchison with the stamp above does that, and that's where I got that little gem of idea. Okay, so now we have our beautiful card front, and it's all done. And you can do it flat, or you can put some dimensionals on it. You know, who doesn't want dimensionals, right? I have some on those hearts on the front, but I'm going to put some more on here. So I usually put them on my corners, one in the middle so it doesn't sag. And like I said, if you press in the middle with either your fingernail or the end of your tweezers, if you use tweezers too, it's a little bit easier to grab up those papers that tend to follow you all over the house, don't they? Just all over. They're sticking to my clothes, sticking to everything. So, you know what I didn't do is I didn't burnish real good. So that's why this card's popping open. There we go. Burnish with your bone folder and it will stay closed better. So you just kind of lay it on there. Looks good. Press it down. That looks good. I was gonna put my clear gems, which I put someplace safe. There they are. These are just the rhinestone basic jewels. They're clear, and if you have blends, you can color them. And maybe you don't want to put any on there. I don't know, but I'm going to put a couple on here. There's a large one. There's a medium-sized one. And here's a small one. Just to sparkle things up a little bit. And that is the layout that we used today. And it's like I said, you can use any cardstock, any DSP, any bundles. It doesn't have to be Valentine's. It could be anything. You know, it's basically the stripe thing here, and 3 objects that you put on there, and a greeting, and you do whatever you want to do on the inside. You know, we put some DSP here. On this one, I had an extra heart that I had cut out of DSP, and I just glued that flat down on that. And, you know, you could do that. I just had it laying around, so I did that. And I didn't end up using this heart at all. I didn't like it that much. I did Flirty Flamingo on Flirty Flamingo, but I thought it looked better on white, so I didn't use that one. So anyway, that's our card for tonight. Let me flip the camera back up. Maybe. Press the button. Press the right button. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today and for making Valentine's cards. And I'd just like to remind you, making Valentine's cards isn't just for your sweetheart, you know, your significant other, your husband, your boyfriend, whatever. There are so many people that need Valentine's cards and need to be reminded that they're loved and cared for. So I hope you make some Valentine's cards and send them to someone that just needs to be told that they are loved and they are cared for, and wish them a happy Valentine's Day. Thank you for joining me tonight, and we will see you next week with, I don't know what it is yet. Oh, yes, I do. I do know what it is. we're going to be doing, next week is February. It's the beginning of February, right? And we're going to be making February 3rd. Okay, we're going to be making our card kits for February. Okay, they look like this. They're really pretty. That's one of them. And then there's another one. I can't find it. Excuse me. Man, swallowed wrong. So that's what we're going to be doing next week, is card kits. And they're very pretty with lots of gold and embossing and things like that. So we'll see you then. And I hope that you have a great time making some Valentines for people that you care about and that need to be told that they are loved. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.